for this starting now. So today, guys, is about the recruiting overview, about the what, why, how about recruiting. So there is lots of good news that we're going to share about recruiting and just kind of diving in. First of all, there is so many good news that we're running for. Let's just kind of take about 30 seconds. I got this email from Nicole Danwood the other day that has all the incentives that we're working for. So guys, I have never had so many incentives going out at one time. Like right now, there are so many good things to work for. Like we got the Unleash the Power Within You. You know, this is a Tony Robbins webinar that I'm super excited about attending myself. And we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 agents who's already won it for level 1. And we have about 10 other agents who are on the verge of winning it. So make sure that you win this. This, guys, next week is the very last week that you can write premium that counts for this incentive. So make sure that you're on that. PIF Perfect bonus, guys. We have several agents on pace for PIF Perfect. Make sure that you get over 15,000 this month. And make sure you also have to report your stats and submit your weekly business review every single week. And you'll get a $400 cash bonus from either me or Van Davenport. We had a few winners last month in my agency. I know Van had a few winners as well. So that's exciting. And then the last incentive is I Dare You. Guys, this is the Macho Incentive from Family Heritage every single year. This is like the big dog incentive. You get on stage. There's probably going to be over 1,000 people in Minneapolis. This is going to be the Rager party of the year because we haven't had a national sales meeting in a year and a half. So everybody's bringing their entire family in Minneapolis. Everybody's going in the entire company. So you want to be on stage in front of, 1,000 people plus and getting that sweet green jacket and get suited on in front of everybody by the CEO, Kim Madsen himself. So make sure that you guys win this. Just the chills of like getting up on stage is amazing. And every single time I win it, it's a great feeling. So, we got CJ Clark, who's definitely on pace to hit it, and Casey Fine. They only need to average about 4,000 of premium per week. Trish Mosier, you need to average about 4,600 premium per week for the next few weeks to win it. Ron McClain's on pace. Zach Tolbert, Patrick Nairn, who just started. He wasn't even here the first month of the incentive. If Patrick averages 6,223, he'll be getting a green jacket, and he's already sold about 5,000 this week, which is exciting. We got tons of other people. Just read your name. Guys, this is a sweet incentive, and right now is when we put pedal to the metal. So, yeah. So, guys, we're just going to go ahead and dive in. And also, what's going to help you sell more insurance is recruiting. Okay, so some people think, I can't train and sell at the same time. Yes, you do. If you honestly look at the top salespeople in Family Heritage, almost all those people have huge teams. It's called being a triple threat because the people that sell the most insurance can teach their team on how to sell the most as well. So because your team is not going to outsell you, you have to be the top salesperson in your agency, and they will follow the leader. So if the leader's selling a bunch, then the team's going to just kind of follow suit. So today we're just going to focus on the what, why, how behind recruiting. So there's a lot of reasons why you need to recruit. The biggest thing, the coolest thing about our business, guys, is that you get to choose on who you work with. You decide your team and who you want on it. You are a recruiter. It's almost like a college football program where you get to handpick your recruits. You don't have to take anybody. You get to select. Most businesses out there, like if you work at Bank of America or Wells Fargo or really any big company, you don't get to decide on who you work with. You don't get to decide on who is on your team, who's in a cubicle right next door to you. You don't have any power or authority over that, but here you do. So that is exciting. And also just looking at long term in this business, if you think long term, Van was talking about a week ago about having his kids on his payroll, having a Roth IRA for his children. So when they're like 50 years old, that's going to be worth like over $1 million. That was awesome to hear about, guys. Just being able to be in a situation where you can have Roth IRAs and all that kind of stuff going for your children, your grandkids, having a trust for them down the road. That's going to come by building an organization. You can protect families. You can make great money here by protecting families, believe me. But if you honestly want to get to the next level, the wealth, the top 1% of America, you got to duplicate yourself. And then you got to teach those people to duplicate themselves. And that's how you essentially make over $1 million in a year. And yeah, so you just got to learn how to do that. And you can only protect so many people in one, being one person, so Also, recruiting is great because it keeps you be the best version of yourself. Like yesterday, guys, I literally, field trained a brand new agent his very first day. And I love it because it forced me to do the job by the book. And that's why we had a killer day yesterday, is because we just did the sales talk word for word. We did all the small things right, getting pre-approach, asking for referrals, just all the questions that we're supposed to ask, doing everything by the book. And that's why we were able to get 3 families protected and have so many demos yesterday. So it makes you as the agent perform at a higher level, right? I think that I always sell more whenever somebody is watching me. Whenever I have an agent right there with me, I definitely perform at a higher level. Just like if you're going to the gym, you're going to work out harder if there's somebody staring. If you have an accountability partner right there beside you, you're definitely going to get more reps in, just like anything in life, right? So that's another good reason, is that you're going to sell more products if you have somebody on your team. One last thing is the money. Just the recruiting bonuses that they have is insane this year. Each year, it just keeps getting better and better. It seems like right now there's a $1,500 bonus if your recruit sells $10,000 of premium in the first 13 weeks. That is insane. That's unbelievable. You can make a great living just by just recruiting people every single week. And that's not even including the $750 bonus that comes from me and from Van as well. And that's not even including overrides. So let me give you guys an example. So let's say that you have 3 agents on your team right now. Okay, you're getting a 10% override off them, which many of you are getting more than that, right? But let's say you're just getting a 10% override. You're at a 40% contract, they're at a 30% contract. All 3 of those agents write a green out. Okay, that's going to be $15,000 of premium that your team wrote. What's 10% of that? 10% of $15,000 premium, that's $1,500. So you just made $1,500. So let's think about this. If you are a brand new agent and you personally go write a green out, how much money does that make you? $1,500, because 30% of 5,000 is $1,500. So if you have 3 agents on your team getting a 10% override and they each write a green out, that's the same as you writing a green out yourself at a 30% contract. So guys, the money's there. And that's not even including the renewals on the back end. So not only will you be getting a 10% override, but you're also getting a 1% renewal, which is even more back end pay. And you'll be getting a 1% renewal on $15,000 of premium instead of just $5,000 of premium off your personal sales. So you're tripling your residual income by having 3 agents on your team write a green out. So long term, your residual income in this business builds up way quicker if you multiply yourself. Okay, so that is exciting. Hopefully that gets you guys just thinking big picture. And if you're brand spanking new here, you can field train right away. Like I know there's several people on this call right now that were field training people in their 2nd month or 3rd month or 4th month. I was in my 3rd month in the business whenever I started training my first agent. So you don't have to be here for a year or 2. We don't care. Like Dylan Buck is already a regional director. He's been here for like not even a year. So he was field training people immediately, right? So there's no tenure. It's all based off merit and your results and your effort period. So that is the why behind recruiting. So let's talk about some technical tidbits. And this is a part that you probably want to take some notes of, the how with recruiting. Okay. And this is going to be, I'm going to try and keep this as elementary and simple as possible and not try to get too bogged down with all the technical things about recruiting and whatnot. But we're going to talk about just the overall process of recruiting, what to say to a field recruit, whether it's a everywhere you go approach or whether it's somebody that you meet out there in the field or somebody that you meet on social media. Because guys, I'll be honest, a lot of people are recruiting off social media nowadays and other agencies. If you look at, Larry and Justin, they're recruiting a ton of their friends and network off Facebook. Okay. So this is the process that a recruit goes through. So make sure that you have these materials that I have in my hand right here, that you have a humongous stack in your car at all times. Okay. I gave Henson a huge stack of all this stuff yesterday because this is just as important as the cancer brochures. You want to be giving out these brochures as much as you're giving out the cancer brochures and accident policy brochures, because this is great. This is free stuff. You can just order straight from the website. And just make sure that you're constantly filling up the back of your car or truck with these materials and giving them out to everybody, because People like this kind of stuff. So let's just kind of dive into the approach. So whenever you're approaching a prospect when it comes to recruiting, if you're thinking, I don't really know what to say to somebody, yes, you do, because it's very simple on how to approach somebody about our career. So this is very similar to our approach in the sales process. So when we go into a business and we sell insurance, we're not telling them we're selling cancer insurance. We're not telling them that we have return on premium policies the first second. We're building rapport, making friends, using names, shopping names of all the businesses that we work with, being nice, laser eye contact, asking for a place to sit down. That's the approach. We don't really say anything about supplemental benefits, return on premium features, pays cash directly to you. We don't ever say that in the approach because it doesn't work. So when you're recruiting, it's very similar, right? You don't want to puke on them. We don't want to sell on their feet and just go through all the details. Yeah, commission-based, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. No. Your goal is to keep it as simple as possible. And really the best thing to share with people is just share what you're doing before here, what brought you here, and where you're headed. As simple as that. So what you're doing before here, what brought you here, and where you're headed. So if you're having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, and then if they're asking technical questions, how do you get your leads? Is it commission-based? Man, those are great questions for my manager, Kyle Schneider. I'm going to introduce you guys to each other. So they're asking a question that you don't feel super confident about answering. Boom, get their number, send it to me, and I'll answer all those questions right there. So let's say that you're at a restaurant and you have a sharp waitress or waiter, and and you're closing out your tab. A great one-liner, guys. This opens up the conversation in so many different areas. It could be a bartender, whoever it is. I know there's a few different one-liners that you can use. I love this one. Are you doing this forever, or is this more temporary? Do you plan on doing this long term, or is this just a filler job? Are you doing this for the money or the experience? Okay. Do you see yourself working here forever? Or do you plan on retiring from your current career? Anything relating to that, I just gave you about 5 one-liners, but they all work, right? Do you see yourself working here forever, or is this more of a temporary job, right? That's the one that I usually use the most. And you usually get a good response. Most people are like, yep, I definitely don't plan on working here forever. Great. Well, you're a great server. You're very professional. You have very good communication skills. You have a great personality, I can tell. I think that you would do really well doing what I do. My company's hiring right now, and I would like to get your contact information and let you talk with my manager. Boom. That's simple. That's all you have to do. And keep it as simple as possible, right? And most people, they're going to be excited. They're going to give you their contact information, okay? If they ask questions about what you do, yeah, just tell them exactly what I just said. Tell them a little bit about what we do. Talk about, what you're doing before this, why you came here in the first place. Keep it to these 3 things and where you're headed, where you and your team is headed. Keep it as simple as possible. And that's all they need to hear. Okay. You need to have that good elevator pitch, kind of on autopilot, just like whenever you're in a business and they're like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And you got to have like that quick 30-second, power punch elevator pitch. The same thing with recruiting. So this is what I say, guys, whenever I'm recruiting somebody, they want to get my awesome 30-second elevator pitch. Cool. I came here right out of college. I chose to work here because of the products that we have and the freedom that you can have running your own business. We're the #1 supplemental insurance company in America. You have a great work schedule, work with awesome people, extremely good pay, and the company is growing fast. And it's a place where you can go grow up the career track pretty aggressively. Anyways, I think that you would be a good fit because you have a great smile. You have a great first impression or whatever it is. Now, does that sound like something that you'd want to get more information on? Okay, that's a great, the way that you end it, does that sound like something that you'd want to get more information on? Don't say, would that be something you'd be interested in? Just because that doesn't work for any kind of sales. Asking people if they're interested in something, and if you're selling insurance or recruiting, it never works. But does that sound like something that you'd want to get more information on? Very safe close to an approach with recruiting. So hopefully that gives you guys some skills just with the everywhere you go approach, and making sure, guys, that whenever you get their information, edify your agency owner. Make sure that you guys, I promise you, it's so much easier recruiting people if you were not doing the recruiting process. Let somebody else, let your higher ups do the recruiting process for you. It just seems so much more legit and so much more professional when they can talk to the agency owner. So don't puke on them. Give them the information. Maybe give them a little packet like this. Go to your car and go grab one and be like, hey, I'm going to give you a little packet, and then Kyle will be calling you back and edify me. Make sure that you say some good things about me. And you guys have been doing a really good job. Like, I love these text messages I'm getting. At least I had a text message the other day, and Brandy, it was great. Saying some good things about me, some good things about them, some good pre-approach. Because whenever I call these people, I want to have some pre-approach on them. Just like if you're cold calling on a business, if you have a lot of pre-approach, man, it's not even like a cold call. It's like a referral approach. It's like a warm lead because you have so much pre-approach on them. The same thing with recruiting, guys. We want to get as much pre-approach on these candidates as possible. And and just really build them up as well. So build us up, build them up as well. And it goes a lot easier. So, so let's go through a couple situations of when you're selling out in the field, how to recruit people at different times. So let's just kind of go through a few situations. One of my favorite lines whenever I'm selling insurance is saying this: Mrs. Jones, do you plan on retiring from here? That is a great opener. Write that down. Do you plan on retiring here? Do you plan on working here forever, Mrs. Jones? Most people say no to that, right? That is the best open question that you can say. And then what I say back is like, yeah, that's great. Perfect. My company, we're growing and we're hiring in this area. I think that you would do well at this. I think that you should get introduced to my manager, Kyle, and he can tell you more about the position. Does that sound good? Would you be open to learning more about what I do? Okay. And then if they say yes, build me up, and then do the three-way text message that you guys have been doing. So that's if they're a sharp prospect. So if you think that they are a POU, people like us, that's what you say. Okay. Let's say that somebody doesn't buy insurance from you because of the money objection. Okay. This is funny. So say the same thing. Do you see yourself retiring from here? Would you be interested in doubling your income? So if somebody doesn't buy, I literally did this yesterday. We had a young lady who just, young, she was about 23 years old. She didn't buy just because she couldn't afford it at the time. And she was sharp. She just graduated from Clemson University. And I was like, do you see yourself working here, at Sally's Beauty forever? Would you be interested in doubling your income? Right. So that's just a great perk, like just eye opener. Like, would you be interested in doubling your income right away? My company's hiring right now. You seem like you're smart, sharp. I think that you could probably do pretty well here. Would you be interested in getting more information on what we do? Okay. It's super simple, guys. If you're talking to somebody and you just, they've been there forever, you may not want to recruit them. And this happens a lot, guys, where you may not want to recruit them, but they just know a lot of people, right? They've been living there. They went to high school there. They probably have a big network. Recruit them for their friends. Be like, hey, do you know anybody else looking for a great new career? Do you know anybody else that's interested in making over 6 figures year one? My company's hiring in the area, and we're looking to find some really sharp individuals who are hungry and trying to make a great income. Our average first-year income is about 66, 67 grand. So if you know anybody looking to make more money, career advancements, who's excited about growth and opportunity, and running their own business, who would that be? So sometimes you don't even try and recruit them directly. You're just recruiting other people through them. You're using them. And several times you'll get people like, oh yeah, my son, he just graduated college. Yeah, he doesn't even have a job right now. Or yeah, my nephew, he just graduated college. Or yeah, my nephew, he's been in sales at Harris Teeter. He's one of the assistant managers, and man, he's always talking about how he wants to leave that place, right? You will get a lot of people. Now, is every single person you talk to going to give you a referral? No. Just like whenever you ask for referrals at the end of a demo, you don't always get referrals that way. But I promise you, you will get none if you never ask. Okay, so you have to ask and you shall receive. And same thing, once you get the information, have a 3-way text with your agency owner, build them up and build up the prospect. It goes way better. Okay, so couple last things. So let's talk real quick, social media recruiting. This is going to be eventually this is definitely going to be our top recruiting mechanism going forward, because everybody uses social media nowadays. And it's probably the easiest way to recruit somebody. You don't have to see them face to face. You're literally just sending them a message in their DMs. When somebody puts up a story, if they're a friend of yours, friend you haven't talked to in 10 years, slide into their DMs and be like, hey man, how you been? That's a great, I can see you're married now. How's things going for you? Just have a good opening line, see how they're doing. Hey, quick question, man. What do you do for work nowadays? Boom. Hey, are you open? And then whatever they say, that's great. And then be like, are you open to a new opportunity? We are growing like crazy and we're looking for sharp individuals to build around. Boom. That's simple, guys. You got to be willing to do it. Okay. I don't care. That requires no skill at all to social media recruit. And I would say this, guys, there are so many good things that we can share. Like all these bonuses that I was just going over with Nicole Damwood, put these on your story on Instagram, on Facebook, because people look at this and they're like, I just won a Tony Robbins incentive. Put that on your story. Like if you're CJ, Caitlin, Casey, Rob, Trish, Patrick, Zach, you guys just won a Tony Robbins webinar that's going to be paid for by me and Van. Take a screenshot of this, put this on your story. Be like, I can't wait till this incentive. I just won this bonus through my company. I'm going to be going to a Tony Robbins webinar. Everybody in America would like to go to a Tony Robbins webinar. He's awesome. On these PIF Perfect bonuses, just want another bonus. Put this on your story. People will like it. People will send emojis. That's awesome, whatever it is. And then what you do is you field recruit them right after that through a direct message. It is super simple. It is not rocket science. It requires the least amount of skill when you're talking about social media recruiting. And then all you have to do is introduce that person to me or to your agency owner. So one last thing, guys, and then we're going to close out, is I'm going to do a quick little phone script of this is just so you guys know what it kind of sounds like whenever I call a field recruit. So whenever you guys have a three-way text message between me, them, and a prospect, whenever I call these people, I pretty much have about the same layout. I actually have like a series of questions that I ask. And this is kind of what it looks like. So let's say I'm calling Van Davenport. I'm like, hey, is this Van? Always go by the first name. Hey, is this Van? He's like, yeah. Awesome. This is Kyle Schneider. I actually got your number from Patrick Nairn. How are you doing? He's like, I'm doing good. Great. Yeah. Great. Let's role play, Van. Well, I called you because he wanted me to reach out to you. Patrick's a client of mine from his workplace. I met him at ABC Plumbing, and he just wanted me to reach out to you and talk more about our opportunity. Now, did Patrick give you a heads up that I was going to be calling you?
No, he didn't.
Perfect. Perfect. Hey, no big deal. No big deal at all. Well, I don't know, Van, if this will be a good fit for you or not, but Patrick said that he thought that you may be a good fit for what I do. So I'm just going to give you a quick call and just give you a quick overview of what we do and just ask you a couple questions. Does that sound good?
Oh, yeah. You know what? He did mention something about a job, but he didn't get into any details. So, yeah, it'd be fine.
Perfect. Hey, so real quick, what do you do right now for work?
I'm in construction.
Awesome. What do you like about what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I get out in the open air. I guess it's kind of nice when the weather's nice.
Heck yeah. How long have you been doing that for?
Oh, 7 years.
Oh, wow. It's a long time. Well, let me ask you this, man. If you're looking at a new career, what would you be looking for to make your next career great?
More money.
Just making more money. That sounds good. Well, I can promise you that we definitely have that here and more. And what we do is totally different than what you have been doing for sure. But I'll give you a quick overview of what it is. And if it sounds good, I'll set you up with a live interview. Sound good?
Sure. Thanks.
Yep. And this is whenever I do my little elevator pitch, guys. I'm gonna be like, hey, so my name's Kyle Schneider. I'm the agency owner here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Work with a great company called Globe Life Family Heritage. We're the #1 supplemental insurance company in America. So what we do is pretty cool. We actually protect families financially whenever bad things happen. So if somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, heart disease, or a bad accident, we actually pay that family money directly. So it's a great peace of mind for families. But one of the cool things about the products that we actually do is it's not just a peace of mind, but it's coverage for families. So like if they actually don't use it, they stay healthy, they actually get all their money back. So it's like a great savings account, but great coverage for families. So that's kind of what we do. But what we're looking for, Van, honestly, and the reason why Patrick gave me your number is somebody who's very driven. Somebody who's like a, self-starter who wants to run their own business. Somebody who's very independent, somebody who's all about growth, somebody who's really trying to get paid what they're worth and really trying to grow within the company. Somebody who wants to sharpen their skills and get into a big time sales and leadership position. And also somebody who's very fun to work with. The kind of people that you would want to hang out with after work, possibly get a beer with after work, just great, passionate people. And also somebody who loves our products, which you will probably learn a little bit more about those later on. So I know, Van, this is a lot different than what you have been doing. But does that sound like something that you'd want to get more information on?
For sure. Yeah. I'd love to look into it.
Awesome. Great. Quick question. So I'll set you up with the interview, but what did you like the best about it so far? Just from what I kind of explained, what about that appealed to you the most?
Oh, I mean, sounds like the people are really cool,
Yeah, we do have a great culture, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do, Van, I'm going to set you up with the first interview. And the first interview is awesome because it's a video that actually explains everything about what we do. It talks about, what we do on a daily basis, our culture, our company. You're actually going to meet some of the reps that work with me and my partner's team. And you're going to learn all about the financials, what the average person makes. You're going to learn a little bit about residual income, which is cool, and just all the cool trips that we get to go on as well. So once you get done with the 43-minute video, you'll fill out an application questionnaire, and that will complete your first interview. Okay, so you're going to watch the video and then fill out the application questionnaire, and I have to set you up with a certain time slot to do this webinar. So you can do this webinar whenever, like you could do it right now, or anytime the rest of the day today or tomorrow. What day would work better for you?
Oh, probably today. I mean, I get off at 6, so probably watch it tonight.
How does 7 o'clock work? Does that sound good for you?
Yeah, 7 should be fine.
Perfect. Yeah. So make sure you're just at that time, in a quiet place, ready to take notes, as there's going to be a lot of information. So I'm gonna shoot you the webinar link to your email that I have right here, van@protectonefamily.com. And then look and to make sure whenever I send this email, it may actually go to your spam just because I've never emailed you before. But look in your inbox here in about 5 minutes. It'll come from my recruiter, Cassie Perkins. She's going to send you this email right here in about 5 minutes. So look in your inbox. If not in your inbox, look in your junk mail. And yep, 7 o'clock is your first interview. I'm writing that down right now. So if you can put it on your calendar as well, because I know sometimes people forget about things. So put that on your calendar, and we're excited about it. And yeah, good luck in your first interview tonight, 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Boom. So guys, that is pretty much what I say whenever I talk to a recruit. And that's very similar. Even if I'm talking to somebody off Indeed or a field recruit. Now, I've also built up some more rapport. If I have a good relationship with Patrick, I will talk about Patrick for a little bit. I'll build Patrick up as well. He's a client of mine. I may build up. Usually I already kind of know about what Van does because Patrick already told me what Van's currently doing. So, but that was a pretty generalized, basic sales talk, approach what I just did right there. So hopefully you guys got some good content. Any takeaways from that?
Kyle, just the fact that, man, you can double your income just by showing other people, finding other people to do what you do and showing them how to do it. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, it just makes you realize that you can make good money selling, but you can make, great money recruiting, but also give other people the same opportunity to make the same amount of money as you.
It reminds me of a phrase that Confucius said: if you want to put money in your checking account, sell something. If you want to put money in your savings account, recruit somebody. I think that was
Yep,
Confucius.
I've heard that before.
I think that was Seneca.